You may have noticed that as we go further along in our study of constellations, they are getting sometimes smaller and a little bit more obscure. But my goal as we go through these is that every constellation in the northern sky we will have talked about. So we're going to talk about a wild, crazy collection here. Three of them that we're going to talk about are very, very small. And then one of them is much larger. So let's start with Sagitta. Now, Sagitta, do not confuse this with Sagittarius. There are two different constellations, Sagitta and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the archer. It is that centaur that is loosing arrows and is the one that has a little asterism that looks a little like a teapot. That's Sagittarius. Sagitta is the arrow. Just the arrow. It's a very small constellation. It has some little tail feathers back here and a straight line of an arrow that goes like that. The story with Sagitta is it's supposed to be the arrow that is shot by Cupid. Cupid is the little kind of troublemaking god, and he, in mythology, if he wants to make people fall in love, he shoots them with these arrows and they gaze into each other's eyes and they fall in love. And that's in mythology, it gets all kinds of stupid things happen. People fall in love with goats and sheep and cows and swans and everything because of Cupid and his mischief, and basically that love can be complicated, which many of you already know. Sagitta is a small constellation, and it's near Aquila, the eagle, and Delphinius, which is the dolphin. So kind of a small little constellation here next to the dolphin and next to the much larger one, Aquila, the eagle. Triangulum. Triangulum constellation makes sense because it's a triangle. It's a little triangular shaped constellation. It has a spare little Messier object off to the side, but it is a small triangular constellation. And this is found between Andromeda. Andromeda, remember, is this big V that's right below Pegasus. Andromeda and Aries. That's Triangulum. Cetus. Now this is a larger constellation. It's very far on the southern sky, and quite honestly, you have to have a very good view of the southern horizon in order for us at our latitude to see it. Sometimes we can't see it at all, but I have faith in the fact that you're going to travel someday, and very often in our star charts, there is Cetus. Now, Cetus represents the sea monster or whale, sometimes it is referred to, and it is has a very distinctive head. This is the head of the sea monster, and then it has its big kind of a curly tail, and then it has sort of like flippers or fins down here. It's a wacky shaped little constellation, but that's Cetus the whale. If you might recall, Cetus is the sea monster that was going to attack Andromeda. Cassiopeia, the mother, was very vain, and so Andromeda, the maiden, was chained to a rock, and Perseus, the hero, came and held up the head of Medusa, head full of snakes, which turned Cepheus, the sea monster, into stone, and so Perseus could save Andromeda, and they could fly off together on Pegasus, which was that winged horse. Beautiful, fun mythological stories. Last one in this section is Lacerta. Again, really small and dim constellation, but it is on our star charts, and it lies kind of between Pegasus and Cepheus, the king of Ethiopia, Pegasus, the winged horse, Andromeda, that maiden that constantly needs saving, Cassiopeia, the queen, and Cygnus, which is that northern cross or that swan. And in between all of them, there's Lacerta. Lacerta is supposed to represent a lizard, a little tiny lizard that is crawling around the ground. It's quite dim, but if you see a collection of stars between Cepheus and Pegasus and in this area, that little combo right there is supposed to be Lacerta, with this being his little lizardy head, his body, and his little tail. All right, that will do for this one. See ya.